might seem a little controversial, something that I still struggle to keep in mind, that I really learned the hard way. With freedom comes responsibility. This is a kind of a modified quote by one of India's great freedom fighters, but we are not here to discuss this today. So today's video is not related to skincare, hair care or healthy living per se, but it is something that I have been thinking of late. It is something that I have been reflecting on since a very long time, and it is one of those candid videos that I want to share with you all. Today I want to share 3 truths or kind of life lessons that I wish I believed sooner. Now, I'm not a guru or an expert in this field, but it is something that I strongly believe in, something that I have experienced for myself, and hopefully it is something that I want to pass down to my friends, family, my kids. Now, I know y'all might even wonder that she's not very old, but I have spent many decades of my life on this planet and experienced a lot of things in my life. And I'm very grateful for today's day and being alive and healthy and blessed with all the great things that are part of my life today. So this is kind of a rendezvous with my thoughts, my beliefs, my feelings, and what I have experienced and I'm experiencing currently. If you're new to the channel and wondering who am I am Dr. Sanoba Doctor, fondly known as Mrs. Doctor. I am a dual board certified dermatologist by profession, and I am your holistic and integrative skin and health coach here. On this channel, we discuss everything related to holistic health, skincare, and everything needed to lead a healthy and happy life. And I'm very happy and grateful for you to be part of this journey. So without any further ado, let's begin. What I'm going to share is in no particular chronological order, but the first thing that I want you to remember, and it is something that I keep trying to remind myself as well, is you cannot make everyone happy. Now, this is something that I really learned the hard way, and it is something that I still struggle to keep in mind, because for me it's very important that my loved ones and the people who matter to me and the people that I come in contact with and everyone in general, I just want everyone to be happy, to be satisfied with what I do. If there is something that I think I can do for that opposite person, that I think I can do to improve or go out of my way, I will try to do that. And I realize by doing that, many times it is not appreciated. People do not want unsolicited advice. People do not want unsolicited help most of the times. Also, even if I have the best intentions in mind, it does not tend to be received in a similar manner. And no matter how hard I try to give in my best, to do my best, it is never enough. Now, this is for a select few people that I'm referring to. Like, there might be instances in your life when you've tried to do something for someone, be it your family member, your boss, your colleague. It could be any relation in that matter, your friend, your daughter, your anyone. You get the point. What I am trying to say is, in that pursuit of trying to keep everyone happy, you might get consumed yourself, and it is impossible that the way you think is the same way that someone else thinks as well. Like, to get that kind of alignment is very difficult, and that's why when you find someone who thinks very similarly, who has the same interests, is when y'all get aligned, is when y'all enjoy each other's company, is when y'all thrive and grow. But that isn't possible with everyone, because everyone has a very different personality, has a very different mindset, has a very different environment that they are in currently. Right? So it's so subjective that I realize it is not worth getting affected by what the opposite person thinks about you. And if you think about it, we generally get upset with someone or with a particular situation is because we have certain expectations. If you don't expect anything out of it or anything out of that person, you are not going to end up getting affected, right? So it is just something that I try to keep in mind when I see somebody is not very happy or in alignment with what I wanted to do, or with the way things have gone, how I wanted it to go. Because as much as we try to keep the best interest of everyone in mind, there is only so much that you can do. I have especially seen this with women. I am not saying that men don't. I have seen as a woman, as a girl, as a lady, we try to do our best in every role. We try to fulfill and keep everyone happy, and many times that leads to a lot of burnout, and that leads to a lot of draining of our personal resources. So it is something that I want you to keep in mind. Okay. The second thing is slightly controversial, but it is something that I have learned time and again over so many years of interacting with people and living life, that there is a difference between acquaintances and friends. I think the younger generation or people in general tend to mistake and use the term friends very commonly.
Friends are not only those that you have fun with or party or smoke at a joint or whatever fun things that you all can think of. Like if you think about it, the very popular show Friends is termed as simply friends. It is not called best friends or BFF or close friends, but they gave the title friends. That is the kind of friendship that should be nurtured and inculcated. And I think people mistake what friendship should actually be.
And the reason why I say this is not that I have any personal bad experiences, because that was something that I was very intentional about, in whom I let into my inner circle and whom I really trust and confide in. Because I have seen over and over again with my friends, with people who I know, getting hurt, being used, being taken for granted. And this is not in terms of only friends, but again, this is applicable to any kind of relationship. You need to know what your boundary is. You need to know where to set that limit. If I have to speak about myself, I will say I am very fortunate and very lucky to have really solid, good friendships that have nurtured over the past so many years as life has gone by, right from the time of school. There are some people who have just stood by me like a rock and supported me no matter what. And the reason why I brought this up is because I have seen that in today's day and culture, people assume in any kind of relationship, to show that you care or to show that you are present, you need to be constantly present in the moment, be constantly having phone calls, texting each other, talking to one another, meeting up, having parties. All this is said and done if you want it to happen. But somebody who is going to understand the kind of person that you are is going to respect and nurture and understand what you're going through without even you having to say it. Someone who treasures and values that kind of relation that you shared with the person is going to be a more meaningful relationship that you would want to nurture. And these are the kind of people that you know that you can always fall back on. I know of many people who say many things, but when it comes to actually being there or having that in action, they're missing. So there is no name game or blame game here. It is, again, everyone's going through life according to their own situations and circumstances. But what I'm trying to get to is value those relations, value those people, because they are your rock solid buddies who are going to be there for you no matter what. And don't forget to acknowledge and appreciate their presence. You get the point, right? It is just one of the ways to protect yourself from getting upset with someone whom you might have expectations from. Again, it is having expectations that is going to lead to all kinds of complications that we create in our life. There are friends or no friends. It is as simple as that. So yeah, that is one thing that I wanted to share with y'all. Another very important thing that I want you to keep in mind is you are responsible for everything. And I say this with a caveat because the next thing that I'm going to discuss with you will seem to be a little contradictory to what I am saying right now. But it gives a lot of power and a lot of sense of satisfaction at the same time when you tell yourself that no matter what happens, you are responsible for it. And in a way, we are. Think about it. The thoughts that you have, the words that you speak, the actions that you perform, whatever you do, each and everything, right from the time you wake up to when you sleep, except for the time when you are in your REM sleep and you're having those dreams, which is not under your control, which is in your subconscious mind, which can be trained as well, by the way, but we are not getting into that. Each and everything that you do that is happening in your life is a consequence of your doing, your belief, and it is something that you need to start taking ownership for. The reason I say this is because this will again save you from a lot of conflict with anyone else, and it really makes life very simple as well. Like, it is a human defense mechanism. In fact, in psychology and psychiatry, I think it is called an immature defense mechanism of projection. So when something happens, you project it on someone else, or you project it on a certain situation to avert and satisfy yourself that it was not your doing, but in reality it is. Now again, this is not in the literal sense that I am saying. I hope y'all are getting the point. What I'm trying to get to is try to take that ownership and responsibility for all the doings and for all the people that you have in life. I don't think I'm explaining myself very well. Okay, I'll try again. Wait, and this is something that my husband always told me actually. I'm someone who really believes in 𝐂𝐸𝐃𝐄𝐎. I call God 𝐂𝐸𝐃𝐄𝐎. I really believe in him a lot, and if something did not happen my way, I would always say that whatever happens, happens for a reason. It is for good. And what he would always tell me is, your destiny and your actions are under your control. And I would at that time negate what he had to say. But when I reflect upon it, it actually made me take actions towards what I wanted to achieve or towards what I wanted to do. And I realized that is the point that he was trying to achieve when he told me this. So if today, right now, you start taking ownership for everything that you do, and I want you to be serious about the way you think, about what you say, about what you do. If you take all these thoughts, words and actions as your responsibility and ownership, and you become mindful of how you want it to shape and what you want to do, trust me, your life will transform in a way that will give you a lot of peace, happiness, prosperity, and will leave you with a lot of satisfaction. Again, this is just something that I had in mind that I wanted to share. And the last and probably the most important message that I want to share with you today is, everything that is meant to happen will happen. Now I know before you come pouncing on me that this is completely contradictory to what I just told y'all before. It is something that I have learned the hard way. It is not something that I did not believe in, but life has taught me that no matter how hard I tried to control and predict what I wanted from life and what I wanted to do myself, it just doesn't listen to you. It just doesn't happen that way. There is definitely someone out there taking care of everything, and whatever happens, happens for a very good reason. There are many things that have happened in my life so far that I have questioned, and I still continue to question. But as Steve Jobs said, you can always connect the dots backwards. And now that I reflect and think back, definitely whatever happened was for a reason. But when you're going through that process, and if it is not a very happy time, if it is one of those lows, one of those struggles, like ups and downs, highs and lows keep happening, if it is one of those low points that you are in your life, it's very difficult to see that there is going to be that silver lining, that there is going to be that happy time that's going to come back. Quotes and phrases are one thing, and actually living your life and going through that phase of hell, if we might say, is another thing. But I promise you that whatever happens for a very, very good reason. You just need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in whatever you believe in. If you believe there is a supernatural power, if you believe in God, you believe in 𝐂𝐸𝐃𝐸𝐿, you believe in Allah, you believe in any form of God worship that you do, there is definitely something that is governing this entire miraculous universe that is present. If you all know my life, I did not think I would ever shift to the United States. I never thought I would ever start my own YouTube channel. I never thought of actually not being near my family. And I always thought that I could control and do whatever I wanted, to such an extent that giving a medical entrance exam is one of the most competitive exams back home, and it's very difficult to get an open seat because of the amount of quota system that is there. And I had set a condition for myself that if I do not get a seat in Bombay in a good college and a reputable college of my choice, I would leave medicine. Like, that is the kind of eccentricity I had at that time. And when I got it, I was like, yay, this is what I can do, and we control and we can do everything. But now I see retrospectively, whatever happened and wherever I got into was so that I reached this particular spot and I reached this particular place today. Now, it is a very long story and a lot of dramatic ups and downs that have happened, and you must have had many such instances in your life as well. I'm sure everyone has gone through this at some point of time, and the only reason why I am again reinforcing and sharing this is because we need to keep reminding ourselves in this insane world that it is okay to not have things go our way. It is okay to try to do whatever we can, try to do our very best. But if it does not happen the way we want it to, we have to just let it go, follow what the universe has planned for us, and have fun along the journey. Because we all know our end result is death, and then the next cycle of life if you believe in afterbirth, or many other things that you might believe in. I'm not going to get into that. But what I'm trying to say is we all know how we are going to end. So it depends on us how we want to lead our life and how we want it to shape and how we want to spend each and every day. Trust me, there are so many wrong things that are happening today. And to some extent, we are all responsible for it. We need to take ownership for that. We need to take responsibility. We need to do whatever we can in our own part. But at the same time, remember, don't stress about it. Everything that is happening is for a reason. I can't answer what the reason is. And I honestly don't even know if I want to know. Because sometimes ignorance is actually bliss. All I can say is be very thankful for everything that you've been blessed with today, right from waking up in the morning to having your loved ones around you, to having food on your table, to each and every thing that is present around you. Fill yourself with gratitude, love, and I always wish for lots of health, happiness and prosperity in your lives and all your loved ones' lives always. As for today, we get this life only once. So it's not worth wasting our time behind futile gossip or behind any negative thoughts or actions or anything else that might be happening around you. I had actually made a little video right in the beginning when I started my channel on how our mind and what we think gets reflected on our skin. But that is true in terms of our entire health as well. So these are just a few of the things that I wanted to talk to you about. This was a very informal kind of video that I wanted to create. Just talk to you all and share what I feel, what I have experienced and what I've been experiencing so far. I would really love to know what are your thoughts, what are your beliefs, what have you all gone through. If there is something that you all will want to share with everyone, feel free to share it in the comments below. As always, continue to glow, thrive and shine. I always wish the very best for you all. Take care. I'll see you soon.